Hello and welcome to the second installment of learning how to do the Amnesia Justine Any Percent speedrun. This will be the second version, so pretty much the first version of the whole strats, and in this strat part this will be for the easy strat, so pretty much you want to complete the full run with these strats to get the whole thing going, and then you can improve from there, and I will show you in the third video how to do the harder strats. This will be the easy strats, so you will have an easier way to get to the end of the run. So what you have to do first, pretty much there will be a cutscene here. If you never played Amnesia Justine, there will be a monster walking around in here, and you will be in a cutscene that will take around 30 to 34 seconds until you can move. You will wake up somewhere around here, and what I normally do is I press W and A at the same time and walk into this corner here. There is this cross section here that you can jump into. You can see my little dot in the middle pretty much. I press W and I jump. This will set you, or you will jump through the wall and on this ledge here. So pretty much you just have to walk on this ledge and just follow it. Keep in mind you can just run into some spots and they will stop you from walking. So generally speaking, try to be a little bit more left, but not too far, because then you will fall off the ledge. Also very important, I wouldn't suggest to jump here. I do sometimes because I'm stupid, but in generally speaking, I wouldn't suggest it, because you can easily jump on some ledges parts here that can push you off easily. For example, this wooden part here, if you jump on it, it could push you off, or just all these parts here where you can get stuck could also push you off. So very important, there are two versions here. You can do either the rocks here, which are just climbing up the rocks. Okay, that can also happen, by the way. So that's good to say, because generally speaking, in my case, I didn't really learn the rocks, but I still want to show them. This is like one of the older strats that have been used. So I'm still gonna show you the rocks real quick, but to be honest, I think they're pretty unreliable, so I wouldn't suggest it. And I think I just got pushed into the rocks again. Okay, yeah, that's not a good. I would just not suggest using the rocks, to be honest, because the rest of the run will be pretty difficult anyways. So what I would suggest to do is actually use the third pillar. So no, wait, it's actually the fourth if we would use the first one, but these are just actual pillars standing alone there, so this will be the third pillar. So what do you have to do here? There is a rock formation on the floor where you have to look. You have to look on the upper part of this small rock formation here, or this rock texture. You look up and you scroll at the same time, or you look over here pretty much. You don't really have to look up, but I normally just look up. It doesn't really matter that much. And then you can see I climb it. So generally speaking, you want to press W into it and then go upwards. If you get stuck here a little bit, that can happens to me from time to time. You can try to use the D and the A to adjust your position a little bit, and also in some cases you get up instantly. In this case you don't. Let's see if I can get another one that is a little bit smoother. There we go. So that's a smooth climb. So you don't have to get stuck. If you get stuck all the time, maybe try to adjust your position a little bit and see if you get up smoother then. So this is the first climb that you have to do. Very important, I already said that in the first video, you have to set your scroll wheel to jump, or else you will have a very hard time to climb this. It is possible, but it is very hard, especially for your keyboard. So whenever we go on here, we just jump over these. We can get stuck on some parts of here, for example on this spot here, or there's a couple of spots where you can just get stuck on, so I would just suggest to jump a bit here. So what I do now, you jump into this direction. It's not bad, it's not important to get all the boosts first or something, but I would say these boosts are super easy, and if you don't get them, it's fine. So you have seen I just didn't get the boost there. So you jump pretty much onto the rocks and onto the down lower part there, onto this part here, and then you will get boosted over to this part of the rocks. You climb back up, jump over here, jump again, and then there is the next spot. This is also one that will give you a boost, so it's pretty important. You can like jump here and press forward. I didn't get it in this time, that's completely fine. You also, what I normally do is I go from an angle here, and then you will get boosted. This was a bad boost, but you can actually get boosted until this spot over here. Also very important, this is the first place where you actually can run. So pretty much whenever you're at the end of this part here, you have to jump up, and this is the part where you can actually run. So now I can actually run and be faster. So from this point on, you can use your shift. I normally already press it earlier because just easy for my brain. So whenever I actually hit this trigger, I instantly run, and it's easier for me. You don't have to do that. It's personal preference. That's what I would say. So pretty important here. I would jump here, because if you don't, or if you jump not far enough, you will fall into this spot here. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. Now I can demonstrate it. Perfect. So I mean, you can fall into these spots here easily, and then you have a hard time getting out. This is actually the first time this happened to me, so that's perfect to show. But pretty much I would suggest jumping over it. The good thing is I have files for everything, so we can just do a little bit of a setback real quick and get back. So pretty much here, and the boost over there. Also, this starts runs, and I don't want that, so pretty much jump over here. I would just either run straight, jump straight, or you can also like jump in between here, but I wouldn't suggest it because there is actually collision. So either be a little bit more to the right side, but not too far right. Because very important, over here, if you're too far right, this will happen. You will be set into this tunnel where you cannot escape from. So you don't want to get pushed into that, because this will lose you a lot of time, and you don't want that. So I wouldn't suggest it. If you can skip that, very good. So we're pretty much at the same spot here. So we walk next to it, but we try to not get into it. What I normally do, for my sake, is I jump a bit here, and I just jump over this, so I can just go straight forward, so I don't hit this trigger at all. So this is pretty much how I skip the trigger. And also very important, if you run straight forward here, you will actually get stuck. But if you're a little bit left, or if you do that what I did, you have to jump, because this is actually a higher place than down here. You cannot walk into it to the right side, as you can see. I'm trying to walk into it, doesn't work. So jumping on here, and then you can just jump, walk straight forward, and you only have to jump here. So what you have to do now, you jump on this rock that you can see, and from this point on is pretty dark, as you can see. So you just press W, shift, jump forward. Jump forward again on this rock pretty much, and then you have multiple options. In my case, I actually jump into this spot. I will take damage, but I don't really care about that too much, because I think it's a little bit faster. But in most cases, if you want to be a little bit more safe, just let yourself drop down here and walk around it. Please keep in mind, don't jump on this whole wooden part. This will boost you off into the distance. In most cases, you just fall off the map. So I wouldn't suggest this. Either jump directly where I am standing right now, or jump here, walk over, or you can also just jump to this part. But at the start, I would suggest just using one of the two here. So very important here, you can see this small strip of rock texture, or like that's pretty much, it's not even brick texture, but something like that. What you have to do here is pretty much just walk into it with W. You don't have to run or something here. You can also already turn your camera whenever you're in, so that's also completely fine. Let me show you what happens if you don't get it perfectly. So what I do, I jump pretty much here, And if you're too far to the right side, you can see I just got stuck in here. Normally, still get out. You can either get boosted downwards, what just happened there, but it loses you some time, so you don't really want this to happen. Or in some cases, if you're too far left, you will get pushed up. So if you're too far left, you get pushed up. If you're too far right, you will get pushed into this part here. And in most cases, either you don't get out, you get stuck, or you're lucky and you get pushed into the place where you want to be. In this case, we got pushed down. So that's nice. So you just continue with the road. You have to go the downstairs here. In most cases, just jump on the stairs. Also, you can use this part here to jump on it and then jump forward. And either just take the damage or like jump into something else to reduce your speed to not get damaged. So that's what I would do here. Then we're going to continue to the second part of the map, which is library. So the first one was cells. Also very important, you can already click, like press left click whenever the text starts to scroll, it will instantly load the next map. If you don't know that yet, that's very important for the speedrun, because the timer already runs when the text starts scrolling and you lose like, I don't know, 1 or 2 seconds. Or something about that. So this will be one of the hardest tricks in this run, in the easy strats. Just already letting you know. A lot of people will have hard times with this. I also was one of them because I didn't know how to perform this trick. There is 2 setups for this, but I've always used this setup here. You can also do it down here on the other one, where you set the carpet directly on top of this paper hill or whatever, but in this case I would just take the carpet, set it down directly in front of it. What I normally do is walk into it to stabilize it a little bit, and then what we have to do, you don't have to run here. It is possible to run and get the trick done, but in most cases you actually fail it because of the running, so I would suggest to just walk into it. So you walk into the corner of the carpet and this cupboard here, or this I don't know, and if you see that your carpet is super wobbly, put it against the thing again, walk into it, and it should be stabilized. And then you walk into both sides. In this case, this one doesn't really want to cooperate because I'm super slow. So you walk into it and you start jumping, or like you start scrolling a lot to get up. So in this case, you want to get on top of this part here, of this plank here. So you scroll up, and then you sneak at the most top part that you can be. So in this case, sneak up and then crouch. I didn't get it this time, but that's fine because we're taking our time for that. So as you can see, even I can fail this sometimes because I'm not used to doing this slow. So I can show you a little bit the whole thing a little bit slower. Also very important, whenever you're on top of it, what I normally do is I press W, Shift, and I jump up, or I scroll up. In most cases, what I would do is pretty much show a little bit to the right side. Not a lot, like not in this direction, but more likely in this direction whenever you boost up. So you get, it's a lot easier to get up here than to get up here. In some cases, if you're too far to the left side, it can also be very, it can happen that you get pushed down here and cannot really get out. In some cases you get out, but not in most cases. So you're best off just here with pressing W, Shift, and forward. Very important, whenever you jump out of here, you have to do a quick turn to the right side, so you don't jump off directly into the void here and die and have to restart. So very important, look to the right side and you're safe. So whenever you're on top of here, you have to run over here, and you can jump on this part here, on this ledge. So you jump on this ledge and then get over to the other side. And you're already safe. Whenever you're on here, you can just go straight down the line. I normally jump here, you can also jump here for example. But if you just want to get safe, just walk on it or jump on it. Also very important, on these wooden planks here, you can always get pushed into either direction, which is super easy. Also, I nearly forgot that part, but very important. If you do the easy strats, it's actually better, and it saves time to do this side here. Let's see if I can even get up there or not. Okay, you just get over here real quick, because from this side it's actually easier to get over there. So you pretty much jump down here, go straight, jump down here, and then climb up. Then you go straight again, go on this part over here, and you will see there will be a door right down here. So you turn, let yourself drop down, and spam left click. Also, keep left click clicked, so it will instantly load the next map. So this one will be the dungeon. Also one of the harder tricks, because you also have to get out of bounds here, and you cannot do the easy strats here. This is pretty much the same strat that you will also use as in the normal strats, but you can use a box as your help. This box does really help a lot, because you can set it down here, and you would normally do it without the box if you do the hard strats, but with the box it is like a lot easier to jump on top of here. So what can happen whenever you're on this pipe? You can either get boosted upwards or in one of the two sides, so left or right. So let's see what happens. In this case, I got boosted upwards. So I do the same as the carpet. I'll press W and Shift and jump up. So then I'll continue in this direction. You can either go on the pipe here or go straight forward. That's pretty much personal preference. I'll go on the pipe, but I don't think it will really lose you a lot of time at all. Maybe 1 second if you don't go straight and go on the pipe and the pipe is having a hard time. That's the only thing that could happen. So really important, don't jump into this spot here, because then you can have a hard time to get out again. So generally speaking, jumping over it would help you the most, and then just follow the path. What I normally do is jump a little bit on these parts here to skip a bit of the way, so I don't have to like run in the middle and run like this. Just jumping over the corners will help a bit. So now the very safe strats would be to jump over here and do the same as you did with the last thing. You can also pretty much jump on here, but that's pretty risky, because if you don't hit it, you can fall down. Also, there is a second part down here that you can jump on, which is used in the harder strats. But generally speaking, I would suggest just jumping over here and turn around your camera and let yourself drop in to the door. And then we're already in the last part of the run. We continue, open up the door, and in this case we're going to use the shovel to get to the end of this room. So we don't use the shovel to get to the end of the room, but we have to use the shovel later on in this run. So you put down your shovel somewhere where you want. Generally speaking, would be perfect to have it in a direction that you can pick it up easily again. So in most cases I just drop it in front of the door and then pick it up again. Can be super hard to do as well. So what I do now is I try to run and jump, but you will be slowed down here a lot. So I don't think shift really does anything, but I'll just use it for good measure. And also jumping, I'm not sure if it reduces your movement speed in air or not, but if it does, it's pretty much the same if you would run or if you would jump. But I always jump here for for whatever reason. I don't think it actually makes that much of a difference. So you just go on here. It doesn't matter which way you take, but I normally take the left side. I don't know why, just because I like it, I guess. Then you drop your shovel down. Very important, there is this text on the wall. It's a plummet true. Between the plummet and the true, or between the double T, you will see there is one part here that is, I mean, it's the same for all the wall here, but in this case, between these two, we have one part of this brick here that forms this perfect formation. Also, we have the stone on the floor that has this bigger, darker space here. So you pretty much put your shovel on that bigger, darker space, and then what you have to do, you pretty much jump on the outer part of the shovel, and this shovel will get into this direction and will flick you into the wall. In this case, let's see if it works out the first try. It actually did, very good. It will flick you into the forward position if everything goes all right. This can also happen that it flicks you in either upwards, downwards, or other directions, but in this case, we wanted to get forward through the wall, so this happened in this case. You have to try this trick out a couple of times, so you have the perfect setup. You can also get pushed into the room to the left side here, but you don't want that. And then just continue on with the run. Open up this door. Very important, close down the door again. Because if you wouldn't close it, it would stall you for a couple of seconds, because your character would walk back, close the door, and then you gain character control again. And whenever you're up here, when this audio cue comes, Mademoiselle Justine, you're done with the run. So this is actually the end of the run. I can also show you real quick what would happen if I don't close the door. Just let's see where I have the shovel skip real quick. Okay, so we have the shovel here. We do the same thing again. Flick it. Do this. Jump into it. Didn't get it this time, first try. Also not again. That's fine. There we go. If I don't close the door, just open it. And now I can walk again. You can see there's like 3-4 seconds lost. Just maybe it's only 2 or 3, but it's just a couple of seconds lost, and you can just easily prevent that with just closing it yourself. Okay, that will be the second installment of my 3-part guide of how to do Amnesia any percent. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will show you the next Amnesia any percent with the harder strats in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.